Hello everyone, this is Karu, and let me just say it is amazing to finally have an update to Sonic Showdown after nearly a year of neglect. However, just because you have new toys to play with doesn't mean I won't give my opinions on said toys. I would like to first, however, thank Denzi and his team for their commitment to the project despite the very harsh hatred that they receive at times just because their game isn't up to snuff. I admire your dedication, Denzi. Keep it up! Now, I don't want to take up all of your time yammering on, so let's get into what's new in this update. I'll be covering... Well, that's pretty much it. So, I hope you enjoy, and let's get into it. Let's start with the focus of this update, since I already know a lot of you are here solely for it. Dark Sonic. The Mastery System's first Mastery character has been added to the game. Good grief, he's tough. I want to say nice things about Dark Sonic, but there's a lot of grievances I have with the character that unfortunately come down to the fact that he's not supposed to be a Mastery, at least not at first, which makes Kit remarkably unbalanced and broken. For those who are unaware, Dark Sonic was originally planned to be a raid boss for Sonic Showdown. What this means is that a player will be randomly selected to become Dark Sonic at any point in time. This would change them into a boss entity that they can pilot with increasing HP and powerful moves to boot. This concept is fun in concept, but in execution we got this mess. Granted, it was the developer's first time developing a raid boss, so let's cut them some slack on that front. However, what we will not cut slack on is the moveset for Dark Sonic, and how its inclusion as a playable awakening that anyone can use at any given time so long as they unlock it is incredibly damaging to the balance of the game. Allow me to explain. Move 1. Oh man, this already sets the tone for the rest of the kit. Sonic jumps into the air and throws down a shockwave, causing a slicing radius blast. Players caught in the blast will be thrown upward whilst aforementionedly sliced. The radius of the blast is already concerning, but what's more concerning is Sonic's maneuver to even pull it off in the first place. Jumping into the air to throw down a large projectile to damage various players and not just one, just screams raid boss. And as such, this move will act as the baseline for the rest of the kit. For a single player to have this much power at their disposal, to destroy parts of crowds just with one tap of a button is already ridiculous, but balanced when you imagine it as a raid boss. The problem is that Dark Sonic is not a raid boss, thus making this move more susceptible to spam usage if a player constantly feeds on ultimates. I do not like this. We're setting a standard that players with ultimates can go and wreak havoc on everyone, including unaffiliated parties to the fight, then that sets a dangerous precedent for future ultimates and masteries. I could understand if ultimates were like this from the get-go, but they are not. Most of the time, ultimates are a second win in Sonic Showdown, which I actually really like. They aren't cheap and easy one-shot kill moves. Even if you activate an ultimate, you still need to put in the work to make it be worth that powerful status. And that's what's fun. It's engaging, and doesn't bore me to tears like many of our Battlegrounds games do with their ultimates being cheap one-shots. This allows the player to actually feel like they earned this victory, and rightfully so given that they have to put actual effort into outweighing their opponent, who could have possibly even counter-ulted to attack back. This makes the experience all the more engaging as both players are at their maximum and have to fight to see who's the strongest and who will outpace the other. Dark Sonic, he just fucking wipes the floor if anyone gets in this way, not even a moment to fight back. It's disgusting. Move 2. The only move in Dark Sonic's kit that is proper for an awakening of a player character, and not a raid boss. This attack sweeps the leg of the opponent hit, knocking them back before a slam from Sonic's hand unleashes a 3-way slice ray attack. This is good! You actually need to get in close to perform this attack, and Silver already has a similar attack with a ray attack follow-up, so it's all up to par. Good job, devs! This one's actually fun, unique, and interesting. Move 3. the only cutscene move in Dark Sonic's kit that requires you to attack a player. Keep a note of this for later. I so badly want to like this move, but the damage output is crazy high. Dark Sonic performing this move is fine, Awakenings typically receive cutscenes, however the insane radius of the attack and the high damage output it gives, alongside the small cooldown, is insulting. I believe this move will work as a base Awakening move if the following changes are made. Base Awakening adds in Awakening for a player, not for a raid boss. Make the radius only limited to the singular Dark Sonic that spawns speed clones. Extend the cutscene length, turn cooldown into a one-time usage of the move. Or, keep cutscene length the same, reduce damage output. Other than these gripes, the move could work for a typical Awakening. It's not the first Awakening that has a dash, seeing as how Neo Metal Sonic has a cutscene move built into his fourth ultimate move, but it's still concerning how powerful this move is for an easily hit and hardly dodgeable attack. Move 4. The Holy Grail. Jesus Christ, what the f were they thinking? I already know what they were thinking. Dark Sonic was supposed to be a raid boss. However, him being moved to Mastery has changed the context of this move entirely. So what's wrong with it? If you played Sonic Showdown, and if you haven't, what the hell are you doing here? Go play it. You'd know about Silver's Awakening, Psychic Break. It's one of the worst designed ultimates in terms of being effective, as it feels rushed and unfinished. But we aren't here to talk about that Awakening kit, rather one move in particular that said kit has, that Dark Sonic only amplifies. Silver's fourth ultimate kit move sees him spawning 3 meteors from the ground using his superpowered status to launch them all at the ground, attacking a massive radius. This is his only cutscene move, and the move cannot be blocked. It also affects people inside of the radius too, and not one target solely. This is fine actually, as Silver's Meteor Toss is a single hit move and typically doesn't hurt fights too badly. The issue is where the setup for this move comes in. Nothing. No setup. And Dark Sonic was clearly studying well in Silver's class, as he's adopted this technique, but mixed it with the horrific design of Chaos Blast, resulting in the no consequences move that spawns a massive dark meteor that explodes similarly to Chaos Blast upon reaching the ground. Dark Sonic doesn't need to attack anyone for this move to go off, he can simply do this whenever he pleases. The attack is unblockable, unparryable, and multi-hits too to add even more insult to injury. This move is the biggest contributor to the fact that Dark Sonic was not supposed to be a Mastery, at least not with this kit that he currently possesses. It's unbalanced, and can pretty much fuck over anyone, not just the person you're fighting. The slow attack speed also adds to the fact that this was intended for a boss too, as typically bosses need telegraphed attacks for the fight to be engaging for players. In the end, with all this combined, I do not like Dark Sonic. He's a direct upgrade to Super Sonic and nullifies any reason to use him. That is the biggest fuck you to players who haven't achieved Mastery, and players who just want to play the game in a competitive, fair environment. While his attacks are flashing and cool, they should be reserved for a raid boss and serve no place at all in the hands of a regular player. It's simply overpowered, and I hope that Dark Sonic is either reworked or stripped away from the players before any sort of tech is developed with this kit to ruin people's days. This is a bad addition to the game due to the placing of it. So what does this update mean for Sonic Showdown? Well, it means that Masteries are a new mechanic to be introduced to classes, and classes with Masteries might be overpowered if the developers don't fix the Dark Sonic mistake. I see a good future for this game, but only if the developers are willing to listen to community feedback, which is a video that I will produce at a later date, and if the developers are willing to not succumb to supply and demand for stupid things like, I don't know, getting infinite in the game before finishing Eggman, Rouge, and Blaze Awakenings, but I mean, come on, that'd be silly. I mean, there's no way they make that mistake again. Oh. Well, fuck.